Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Now in today's video, we're taking a look at a tiny projector that packs tremendous power. We're taking a look at this guy here. This is the JMGO N1 Ultra 4K Tri Laser Projector. I know that was a mouthful, but this thing is pretty amazing. You're talking about being able to project in front of you, or by just tilting it like this, you can project on the ceiling. Pretty much you can project in any angle. And not only does it swivel or go up and down, but it also, the base allows it to turn left and right. So what's so fantastic about this projector and what makes it so, I would say, attractive is that most rooms are fixed, right? And it means that you have very limited options when you'd like to watch a movie in a large screen format on a projector. I literally took this projector and put it on the floor right next to my sofa where Nola and I sit down and watch TV, had it projecting on the wall, and it auto-conformed itself to my wall, to my screen, and it was giving me, as you can see here, a 123-inch movie experience, and it wasn't in the way. It was on the side. So imagine if you're in a dorm room and you'd be able to want to have a large screen format in a dorm room, and you just can't have it in the middle of the floor, but you can have it over to the left, to the right. The screen will auto adjust. If you want, let's say you're taking this out, you want to go outdoors because it's so small. It comes with a really nice travel, say, container. You're taking it with you and you want to be able to use it in camping. Plug this in, run this, and it just works. The other thing about this is that it's a theater in a box. It also includes Android TV built in. So you don't need any kind of streaming devices. You just plug this in and it's going to go. So let's go ahead and talk about the specs. First of all, 4,000 NC lumens, which makes this thing bright, and with the right screen, this will work in daylight. It could be a TV replacement, and you're going to see that in our video, how we have this thing running in daylight, and it's performing extremely well. And I got to tell you, it's about 10 to 12 feet away from my wall, right? So it's not close up either, and it's bright enough. It has great contrast ratio, right? And it also has a 4K HDR10 experience, right? So you have, this thing is 4K, not 1080p. 3D support, so if you have 3D content, it's something you'll be able to get on the projector. It has triple laser technology, right, which is the more modern lasers that you find now on the market. Brand new type technology, which is going to give you better colors, better black representation, and all the colors in the spectrum are just going to look a lot better. The laser is rated at 30,000 hours, which means you're not going to have to worry about, this thing, in the long term, or in the short term for that matter, not being able to watch content because it has that much life on it. It also has great audio, DTS, and also Dolby audio, right? Good sounding speakers, and you're going to hear what this experience sounds like. And that comes from two 10-watt speakers. And I'll tell you, at first when you think about 10 watts, gee, is that really powerful enough? It absolutely is. For a home theater experience and a surround sound experience, this sounds great, and we'll see that as well. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, 2 HDMI 2.1, one of them supporting ARC, and then also USB-A 2.0. It has 3.5mm head jack, and then what I love about it, Android TV 11, which means you don't have to put a streaming stick. It just works out of the box, and you can watch all your favorite content. It has auto screen fitting, right? And basically that means that if you have a screen, projector screen, it looks at it automatically and it sizes the screen, the projection, to that screen, and you're going to see how that works. It is super cool the way it just does it. Smart object avoidance, so that if you have something on the wall, it's going to shift the image so that you're not projecting on maybe a sconce or something that may be on your wall. And then it also has smart eye protection as well, which means that if you have dogs or even young children that go up to the light and want to look into it, it will basically shut up because it is a laser, so it's going to protect you as well. So let's take a closer look. We'll look at our viewing experience and why you're going to want to consider this guy for your home. Now, the first thing we'll do is we'll take a look at all of the input, or in this case, input and output options. You have your USB-A, your two HDMI, one of them is eARC, which is going to be great for audio, and then you have your audio out. Now let me show you what's going on here on the bottom. So you have this base that swivels, turns left and right, rotates literally all the way around, that allows you to really position this and shift this however you'd like. Then what you also have is this arm here that allows you to move it as well. So this is again going to give you a lot of different angles that you typically wouldn't have because you'd have to pick up the projector and move it around, and this allows you to adjust it, especially if you have some limited space. Now we're going to go ahead and, oh, one other thing. These two screws right here, if you remove them, you'll be able to lock this onto a standing base that they also have that allows you to keep this standing up, almost like if it was a tripod. But it's more like almost like if you're thinking about one of those tall sconces. This is how this would be set up right on top. So I really like the way that looks. Now we're going to put this right here so you can see what I'm talking about. So notice I can turn left and turn right. There's no friction because of the base. I can turn it up like this, and I can literally project on the ceiling if that's something that I wanted to do. If you remember when you were kids, you probably were projecting stuff on the ceiling, a flashlight or just something on the top. You can do it with this. Or you can get it in any angle. And the cool thing about this is that as it's moving, it's going to adjust and stay flat on your wall, as well as turning left or right. So for me, again, since it was over to the left, I was able to do one of these things, turn it this way, and it was hitting the wall, and then it automatically adjusts the image to the wall. Super cool. Now it does come with a remote, and it also has a power cord, but the remote right here that you can see is pretty standard remote, right? So Bluetooth remote, which I really like as well, and everything just performs incredibly well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the performance of the projector. We'll see all the features, and you'll see why I'm so excited about this new projector from JMGO, the N1 Ultra. Now the projector comes in a really cool travel case. Let me just show you, and this really makes it extremely portable for either outdoor use or if you're going to take it to someone else's house because you want to have a movie night there. So all you do is open it up right here, and then this is how it comes in packed. Everything is really well organized. So in the back here, you're going to find your power cord. You have the power brick, which is a reasonable, I would say it's a decent size, right? We'll put it over to the side. You have a nice little compartment here that is going to be for your remote, so the buttons don't get pressed. I actually recommend having the buttons face this way so that if you're moving it around, you don't want something hitting the buttons this way because then it's going to chew up your battery and you may damage the remote. Just a tip. And then here you have the actual projector, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. A little heavy because of the base. There you go. Take that out, put that to the side, and then here we have the projector, right? So again, this case here, I haven't seen another projector kit that includes a really nice protective travel case just like this. So highly recommend that as well. Now we're checking out the JMGO N1 Ultra, and we're doing this in a variety of settings. What you've seen throughout this video is the daylight, nighttime shots, and clearly this is a good performing projector, especially during the night. But during the day, it does really well as well. So if you take a look at what's going on here on the left and on the right, you can see that I have no blackout shades, no curtains. I just have sunlight coming through. And I actually have, I'm in an area here, and I'm going to show you kind of like the light based on my hand here. This is how much light's in the place. So we basically have 6 windows, 2, 4, 6 windows, and then I have behind me, I have an open space that actually leads into our kitchen, which also has some glass doors. So there's a lot of light all the way around us. And this is how well this projector is performing. Now, the screen that we're using right here is an Elite Screen CLR3, and it's really designed for ultra short throws, right? So not designed for this projector. And this projector is sitting around 7 feet away, a little bit, maybe a little bit more from the actual screen. I would say, I think it's more like 10 to 12. And using some of the really cool keystoning capabilities, the screen gets auto-adjusted. And I'm going to show you how that works in a second because it's pretty spectacular the way this thing adjusts. I actually have this projector sitting on the floor, just tilted up in an angle, and this really gives you the ability to think about all the possibilities. So if you don't have a room that is suitable for projection, just think about the fact that you can put this in a variety of places and still get a great image like what you're seeing here, even in daylight. Now you're going to see that some of the standard apps are out there. So you see it comes with Android TV built in. You can see all the apps that I have installed, and there are several others that are available. I did not see Netflix. That's the one thing I did not see on this. I did see all the other apps except for Netflix. Sometimes that's a little bit difficult to get. I'll ask some questions about that, but this is a early version. So I'm not going to also call this a full, what I would call a full review. This is more of a first look because this is one of the first versions that I have that I'm playing with. So if I were to go up here, we're just going to look at the menu for a little bit so you can see some of the options that are here. This comes very light when it comes to I would say software or any kind of bloatware. What you see is that TV application, MMP, that's pretty much it. Everything else is what I've installed. Now this is running Android TV, and it's running the most latest version of Android TV. So what we're going to do is focus on the projector settings, because everything else is pretty standard, right? So you have a lot of different corrections that you can do. You have, for example, auto keystone, manual keystone, keystone correction settings that we're going to go into, autofocus, and I can just go through all these. This area right here is an area where you can actually store settings. That way, if you want to go back and just reference it, you can go ahead and do that. And then you have your installation method. If it's front, and we'll go into this so you can see what's saying here. So it's front installation, rear installation, ceiling, you know, depending on how you're projecting, you know, this is what this area is for. It does have, again, this Bluetooth remote, which is nice because you don't have to point it at the projector. You have all of these options here. You have auto brightness, low blue light mode. You have, again, that smart eye projection, which I recommend you keep this on because this is a laser. It's not an LED, right? It's a laser. So you'll want to keep that on. And then you have that indicator light toggle. I left it on as well. So we have the little backlight going as well. And these are kind of like all the settings I have. So let me show you how well this auto corrects, right? So we're going to go into this keystone correction setting. And the projector is on the floor. It's to the left. It's not in the center, right? It's not here. It's all the way on this side. And it's more closer to that corner. And then I have it on the floor and I have it tilted up. I'm going to show you a shot of what that looks like in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how smart this projector is when it comes to auto adjustment. So this is the image as it really is. This is how it's projecting on the floor. This is messed up, really messed up. I have a screen, and what it's going to do now is it's going to auto adjust the projection to fit the screen that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, right? And I'm just going to let it do its thing. So it's going to go through some patterns. So it's doing this pattern thing. And then it's going to do one more adjustment. So it's figuring things out. This is not the fastest. What? Did you see that? Super cool. So did the adjustment, and we have, I would say, as close to a perfect view as possible. You'll notice on the sides there is no overplay of the light. So you can see right there coming up all the way over here, nothing there. It just adjusted automatically. Now when I do this, what I'll typically do just for the sake of giggles and grins, I'll run an autofocus just to make sure the autofocus is good. Autofocus is good. And then what you do is you're ready to go. Now the one thing that you'll notice is with Android TV, it does get kind of opaque when you are not accessing certain things. Right now the focus is on the top where it says home right there. But if I go down, you're gonna see how bright this is even in this area. So now it pops, right? Did nothing. This is the operating system. As soon as I went to YouTube TV or went to any of these applications, it's automatically kind of brightening it up because that's where the focus is. So this is what you can expect, you know, what is at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time with the sun out in a living room that has light everywhere. Now the test that we're running now is a 4K video test, and you're gonna see it, you know, playing in daylight. I just lowered the volume a little bit, and what you'll see is, again, the type of image that I'm getting in daylight. So if you were to ask yourself, can this be a suitable TV replacement? With the right screen, absolutely can, because I'm using this during the day, and I can actually see this from our kitchen, looking down into our sunken living room. This works spectacularly well, as you can see here. The one thing that you will notice that because this is it's during the day, the blacks aren't as deep as maybe you'd want them or what you would expect at nighttime. And we're going to switch throughout this video going from daylight to nighttime so that you can see what the video quality looks like. But even in this setting, you'll notice that as we go through the different shots, at night, the blacks just become richer, the colors become more vibrant, things really lock in really nicely. It's just a spectacular view when it comes to the overall viewing experience. Audio on this is pretty good too. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise the volume so that you can hear the audio experience. So it does have some great speakers, and you could use this as a theater in a box. And even though it has eARC in it and you can actually connect this to another system, this is gonna work well because it does have a throaty, I would say, a sound system to it that's combined with the video is gonna work really well. So check out the audio now. So I'm going to be speaking over the sound, but that's full blast, the type of surround experience that you'll get from the audio. It sounds really good. And again, if you're looking to have a full package, audio, video, you're going to get it from this. Again, here the cool part about this projector is going to be, once again, the tilt and pan capabilities, the fact that you could get this kind of image quality during the day, and it just gets even better, much better at night. Now, one of the questions I'll get from many is this a suitable gaming projector? And that's really hard, especially when it comes to projectors and ultra short throw projectors that are not really designed for gaming. This one has a 10 to 15 milliseconds response time. So can you use it in gaming? Yes, you can. Is it going to be the best gaming solution for a first-person shooter or a first-person type of action game? Probably not, because you're going to be able to feel that lag time when it comes to trigger. But depending on, again, your experience and what you're looking for, and you know, the age group that you're dealing with when it comes to gaming, this would work. This also would be a great solution for a dorm. Because you have limited space, you really don't have the perfect positioning. You could put this on a stand and you can point it at a wall and this is going to project, and it does really, really well. We literally took this, and you'll see a shot of this, and just for giggles and grins, we put it in our bathroom, projected it against one of our walls, and this was right above our jacuzzi, and it basically, it was great. It was like having a 100-inch TV in the bathroom. I don't advise it because of the steam, but it did work out really well. Just giving you, again, the flexibility that you could get with a projector like this. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.